What's up, everybody? This is Kiwan, and I am back with Sisters Season 8, Episode 17, Call Me By His Name. Okay, I was trying not to make my review lengthy, y'all. Sorry I couldn't give y'all Sisters yesterday, but I wasn't feeling good. And today, there is possible touch of bronchitis, y'all, but just work with me. I actually done notes for Harlem. I have my notes up for Harlem as well as Carl Weber's The Family Business. But we gonna try to see how we gonna do with Sisters, and then I'll try to proceed to the next to give y'all the next video. Anyway, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all click the notification bell button so you can be updated on all the videos that I drop. All right. So y'all, the episode begins with Gary. He's still in the hospital bed. He wakes up to find himself strapped down, and he's calling Hudson. No, I'm sorry. He's calling for help. Hudson comes in and he asks Hudson to unstrap him. Hudson says no, and also admits to Gary that he was the one that had him sedated and strapped down. Gary then has a memory flash about Hudson, and he tells Hudson, you work for me." Hudson says yes, and I'm also your friend. So Gary is asking to be unstrapped once again, and then he's asking for Andy, and of course this pisses Hudson off, right? So he tells Gary that Andy is poison. I was like, child. And he I'm sorry, y'all. He really got it in for Andy. All right. So Hudson actually walk out the hospital, and then Gary starts to scream. And then y'all know my favorite part, the theme song. But I can't give it to y'all today, okay? So y'all, down at the BBT, listen, I can appreciate this next scene because we was down at the BBT, and this white woman walk up to the counter and talks and ask Maurice, and demand that he cash out her bucket of pennies for her. And I was like, ma'am, go somewhere. So Maurice asks if she have an account, and she tells Maurice no and says, does that matter? Maurice tells her it does because their coin machine is only reserved for customers. He tells her that he can assist, but she will have to go roll up her pennies by herself. And then once she's returned to the counter, then he can help her. Now, meanwhile, you see Paige kind of looking, just kind of observing what's going on. Paige was observing, okay? And so the woman asked Maurice, why can't he roll them for her? And Maurice reiterates, it's only reserved for customers who has an account, but he will be happy to help her once she rolled up the coins. So then the little white woman turns around and tells him, let me guess, you don't want to do it because you're too fabulous. At this point, Maurice made a face, and Paige was like, she scoped it out. And Paige was like, well, ma'am, what's going on? And so Maurice then tells the woman, excuse me. And then he reiterates why he can't assist her rolling up her coins. She tells Maurice, no need to get sassy, girl. I know you're kind. And at this point, I'm Maurice and Maurice is me. Because he started to look around like, who you talking to? So, I'm sorry, y'all. He says, my kind. He asked her, like, my kind. Like, baby, what black? What you mean, my kind? And so, she said, you're alphabet warriors. I was like, oh, wow. She said, we gave you the right to marry each other, and that's not enough. Who is we? Then she says, then y'all push y'all LBGTQ agenda down our throats. And I would have been like, ma'am, those pennies gonna be going down your throat because ain't no way you stand up here playing with me like this. Like, y'all, the way I would have shoved that jar and those pennies down her throat. Ma'am, get the hell out, okay? Listen, I can appreciate Tyler for all of this. I really could. But he handled it. Maurice Maurice handled it really, really well. She said, and then she proceeds to say, quite frankly, I'm over it. Man, we are over you. Okay? So, Paige jumps in and says, I can assist you, ma'am. And so she was like, you can come over here. So the lady was like, she says, I'm glad you can help me, yada, 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 but I'm not bringing my coins. So she didn't want to move the coins from here to this counter, to Paige's counter. So Paige asked her, ma'am, do you have your bank card and your ID? The woman go to piping up at Paige and says, I don't have a bank card. And I was like, oh yeah, and then I did mention, she said she wasn't moving them coins. So after thanking Paige for wanting to assist her, Whitefish then get the piping up. She said, what's the big deal? All she wanted to do was cash in her coins so she could go to the casino with her church group. Well, ma'am, you might want to try Jesus and not the BBT with your bigotry and your homophobia. Okay? I was like, oh, Lord. Y'all, she aggravated me. Okay. So, Ms. Mann was like, well, let me just open up an account. And Paige tell her, unfortunately, the BBT, the Bank Haven, the Brookhaven Bank and Trust don't serve homophobes like you. And you can take your pennies and kick rocks. I was like, okay, Paige, all right. So, Maurice, she says, and as my coworker would say, face floor, floor face. That's what he always tells her, but I really don't know what that means. Okay, I don't know. So Maurice looks at Paige and says, am I dreaming, or did you just stand up for me? So Paige tells him, my brother is gay. And Maurice was like, do he like brothers? It's like, baby, Maurice always gonna take him a chance to hump on some man. And don't you have a man? So he was like, hook me up with your brother. So then Paige tells so y'all, Maurice is in disbelief, and she took up for him, and they started laughing and kind of kikiing, and then they had that moment, and I really was okay with that. Like, I really was okay with that. Sorry, y'all. Oh yeah, my coworker, she made a cup, tied by Creations. She dope. Okay, so I'm a get her information and drop it in my description box too. I love her. Anyway, so Sabrina walks up on Maurice and Paige while they kikiing and laughing. She asks what's going on, and so you was like, nothing, baby, we just having a moment, so we're just getting along. She was like, as long as y'all get along, I don't care. So of course Sabrina walks in with all this stuff on her mind with Rich. Like, ma'am, you really need to take Miss Marie's advice, because Rich is a dumbass who do not know how to handle his emotions. He is selfish and he's childish, okay? But baby, Rich is fine, all right? Anyway, so as she walked, because Sabrina kept trying to call Rich, he kept sending her apparently he wasn't answering, so I assume he kept sending her the voicemail. So when he walked off, Maurice tells Paige, this hoe always got something going on. She was like, I can sense that. I can see y'all, I was just here for the moment because those two look like they could be a kiki, just like him and Pam. I love to see them together. Like, y'all, I love to see it. So in the next scene, we get Tamara and Hayden. I guess they're trying to get it in, and he gonna ask her, I want you to call me another name. So she was like, what you want me to call you, Daddy? And he was like, no, call me Gary. So he takes his hand, chokes her, and tries to get it in with her, and she pushes she pushes him off of her like, sir, are you crazy? And so Hayden is just filled with anger, and he's always been like this short little angry man. But not only is he mad with her, he still don't like Andy, and he's, he's now piping up about Penelope, all because he pissed off at Gary. She said, I apologized about this already. So either you gonna forgive me, or we can put a cease and desist on this, and I can just do what I need to do and leave. So y'all, we get over to the Jamba Juice, right? Jordan is there with Rich. Rich is angry with Sabrina, and he tells Jordan he's ignoring her calls. Jordan asks Rich if he talked to Sabrina. He said no, he just assumed that she was going to talk to Damani about the sperm. Y'all, I cannot stand him because he does not think logically. He thinks as a child. He's a man child, okay? So, again, you don't know what these people were talking about. So Jordan, who have a brain, was like, does he work with her? And so he was like, yeah, he does things for her bank. And he was like, well, maybe he was talking to her about work. Light bulb. All right. So Jordan says to Rich that, that they could have been talking about work. And so Rich was like, how you gonna talk about my situation? You really need to call Andy, and you need to talk to Andy. So he was like, it's no problem. He said, that's different. Y'all, I'm so sorry. He was like, that's different. And so he was like, no, call her. So he called Andy. Now we get to Andy's, and she's on the phone with Leland, Benson, Jones, all of them. She calling clients back. Like, she really trying to get her job back. Because Miss Marie gonna do what she said she gonna do. And if she says she gonna do it, she gonna do it. So, ma'am, get to getting. So she's doing a good job. Jordan calls, and he wants to meet up with her. He was like, can you come to my house? She was like, hell no, because your crazy sister over there, and I don't want to have to bat the piss out of her. And so he was like, can I come to your house? She was like, no, you absolutely can't come to my house. And so she was like, we can meet in a neutral spot. So they go to Billy Jake's. She was like, okay, I'll just meet you over there at Billy Jake's. So we get over to Billy Jake's, and guess who's there? Penelope met Robin over there so they can go over and discuss her case. So Penelope, baby, when I tell y'all Penelope is a pick-me if I ain't never seen her, when I tell y'all that lady is so filled with jealousy and envy for Andy, it is unreal, ma'am. You have misplaced anger. This lady tried to help you. You have misdirected anger. You are mad at your fiance / baby, previously baby daddy, and you keep taking it out on this woman. And you're mad because all the men want her, coupled with the fact that they're they mad because people want her. She is who she is. She exudes what she exudes, ma'am. You either you get over it or get on the bus, because it's just feeling like you don't compete. You can't compete where you don't compare. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to go with Andy on this. I can't. This lady exudes sexy without even opening her mouth. First of all, I'm doing way too much talking. But anyway, we get over to Billy Jake's. Penelope is over, meeting with Robin. She asked Robin, why did he end things with Gary? He was like, well, hold up. You getting too personal. But his dumb is tell her, he tells her, we met for the case, and his personal life is not her concern. And I was like, I know that's right, Robin. And that's when Penelope is a jealous pick-me. Point blank, Andy, period. So then Robin decided to tell her that it was Gary. Gary was the reason that their relationship failed. Penelope thinks Andy like having two men, powerful men, fight over her, and he was like, "You really believe that?" And so she blames Andy and Gary for her downfall. And so Robin was like, well, didn't she try to help you? Like, wasn't she the one who warned you? She didn't know anything about you until she met you. Upon meeting you, she told you, her and her friends told you everything. I can't keep going through this. I'm not going to keep discussing this. I'm not mad at y'all, but Penelope is pissing me off, and Tyler Perry and his writers, they know they're doing something right because I'm pissed. Okay? Penelope working on my nerves. So, Robin reminds her, Penelope said to Robin, do you think Robin said to Penelope, do you think she would do that? She pipes up and tell her, yeah, I think she would do that to get her and the baby out of the way so she can have Gary. I'm just like, Penelope, do you hear yourself? Like, Penelope is delusional. Which makes me also believe that Penelope is as scandalous as Gary is. I just think she tries to hide it with that nice person act. But underneath all of that, she ain't. Okay? So we get over to Zach and Fatima's house. She tells him what happened over at Andy's and yada, yada, yada. And he was like, just hyping her up on how much of a good person that she was, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we get back to Karen's house, y'all. Miss Lisa's standing there like, girl, I don't know what you think you doing, but you need to sit you and them twins down somewhere and that green dress. Baby, we glad you got on the new dress. You've been having on this same dress for a couple weeks, but we glad to see you out of that black and white dress and that black dress. So, sit down. Everybody don't have to see you in that green dress. The doctor said you ain't supposed to be rolling around, everywhere. So then she said, well, I went over to see Andy. Miss Lisa was like, girl, F Andy. Okay? In her life and everything she got going on with it. Baby, I'm concerned about you and them unborn fetuses. Okay? Because I'm the grandmother. Not I. She is the grandmother. She is the Mimi. She is the Gigi. She is the Momo. She is the granny. She is the nan. Look, she all the things, okay? All right? Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if she have them babies calling her G Lisa. Okay, we're gonna call her G Lisa. Okay? She the Titi. She the Titi. And if you're from New Orleans, you already know what the word Titi means. That's the Titi. Okay? TT. T Lisa. Oh yeah, we talking about grandmothers. We ain't talking about aunties. So, Aaron don't listen. Miss Lisa was like, listen, I'm going back to the salon because I feel like you need a little more, supervision for Pam. She was like, how's the salon? Pam doing good. She lies, tell her Pam doing good. She didn't want to tell Pam. She didn't want to tell Karen that Pam was end up due on her table. Okay, because she know Karen would probably go into labor at this point. Okay, so she got her a babysitter. She was like, Mom, you got me a babysitter. Girl, you know Aaron about to come by your house. Don't play with us like that. Like you acting like you don't know. All right. Moving on. Hayden is still mad. Moving forward. Pam called Sabrina about the business plan. Sabrina has not even gotten to it, looked at it, smelled it, smacked it up, flipped it, or rubbed it down. Girl, get these people plan done and rich. Moving on. Because I said because I gotta keep this together. Okay? I gotta keep it together because I got the So at this point, we're at the airport. And Tony wants to talk to Danny, and she tells him, she'll talk to him later. Why did I write that? Oh, he wanted to discuss things further, and she was like, this is why we're getting in trouble, because this is not the right place, it's not the right time, you got too many people, too many eyes looking. So yeah, no, Anyway, Leonard. We all know Leonard was the one who snitched. We know that because Leonard wanted that spot. You know, but I think sometimes the way Leonard go about it is wrong, and Leonard is the male version of a Karen, not the Karen, but the Karen that was at the bank. Okay, Leonard is that version. So Leonard goes up to Danny, and he basically was taunting her, telling her, well, I guess you know who already went to HR, yada, yada. You know, just letting her know I was the one who went to HR because, once again, you don't deserve this spot because you laid on your back to get this spot. And I'm just like, Leonard, get over it. But we know that there are people like Leonard at our jobs. I don't know any. Yeah, especially at my job. Like, I mean, it's different departments at my job, so I don't know people like that. But the people in my department, shout out to the people in my department because they everything. And I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm sorry. Let me get this video over with, y'all, because this is just way too long. So Lena goes up to Danny, taunts her, and so, Danny pipes up like, you really got a heart on, and she was like, you just the type of person that don't get yada, yada, yada. Are you jealous because you're not getting any, because he went up to her first. And so she just got aggravated, and he was drinking a coffee, a cold coffee, and she hit that coffee up and it spilled all over her, and I don't blame her. But I also feel like violence is never the answer, especially on no job. Ma'am, you need your job. You ain't got nobody taking care of you like that at all, except for Preston. But we broke up with Preston, okay? And you really just need to file a grievance on Leonard for harassment at this point, because everything he's doing is borderline harassment. If you've already filed a complaint, then you should have left it there. But you continue to further taunt her and tell her that she's laying on her back. So that's part of that is sexual harassment as well. Sir, I can't. So Jordan apologizes for Penelope's behavior, and I think this is the part where he asked to meet her at Billy Jake's. So Penelope is still being nosy and unprofessional, and at this point, just send Penelope stupid to jail, okay? Like, she is delusional if I ain't ever seen it. So she acting like, oh, Watt would never. Ma'am, he absolutely would, and he absolutely did. Moving forward, Fatima don't think handing over footage to Watt is a good idea. They decided they wanted to go over Hayden and Tamara's house. They also decided that they want to frame them two. Well, Zach wants to frame them too, but Fatima was like, we don't need to give him nothing. If he wants something, he need to work for it. Point blank in the period. He's the detective, not them, even though they playing detective. Anyway, this is the part I think I did go ahead a second ago about Leonard in that coffin, so I'll just skip that. So we get back to the hospital. There's an RN by the name of Erica. Damn, she's making me look bad. Insider. RN named Erica comes in beautiful young woman. Come into Gary's room, and apparently, he wants her to be informal. He was like, don't call me Mr. Borders, you can just call me Gary. So y'all know Gary turns on that Gary charm. So he is now starting to remember the snake, the creep, the villain, the menace, who he has been, okay? He asked her, hey, can you, he just really was finessing her in that moment. She must be a new graduate from nursing school, cause ain't no way you act like you ain't got no sense, sis. Unloosing him from the straps, and he actually started to flirt with her, he no, not it's probably a wrong word, but he gives her a proposition to pay for her student loans, but he needs something from her. So in order for me to pay for your student loans, but I gotta wait till this the T he finna lie. But I gotta wait till I get out the hospital and get myself better and get to a healing space, and then I'll be able. Child, please. So Karen is still waiting for this babysitter to come, Aaron. Her mama still fussing. Her mama cooked us some lasagna and breadsticks and salad, and I was here for that. And I was like, you know what, Mama Lisa, just send me a plate, cause I'm always hungry. Okay. Anyway, so Aaron walked in the door, and Karen was like, y'all, I have thousands of memes in my phone, and I wish I had a meme to put in this video, but unfortunately, I am still learning how to edit. She was like, sorry. And so I was like, girl, bye. Because we really not finna sit here and act like you ain't know Aaron was coming. Girl, y'all remember, listen, I'm sorry, this review is getting long. Y'all remember on that scene with Home Alone, the first Home Alone, and he went through Buzz's things, and he seen a picture of Buzz's girlfriend, and he went, oh, no. Was it that scene? And he was like, yikes. Or did he realize something was happening, and whatever he did. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, that might not be funny to y'all, but that's funny to me. And it was just the way Karen was looking. Like, you have given this man a hard time for the past, since the beginning of, first of all, since you met him in season 1, okay? And then your aggravation for him progressed over time. And you were such a BIT to this man up until he told you all last season when he brought you those strollers. So moving on. So over at the BBT, Sabrina's on the phone with Pam, because y'all know Pam called her about the business plan. They still on the phone. So she tells Pam, you sound sad. And so Sabrina was like, well, how can you tell? She was like, yeah, I know. So she was like, well, whatever's going on, you can tell me. And so Sabrina tells her everything that's going on this heifer. Baby, when I tell y'all, Pam is so trifling. Pam sitting here sorting out some bundles, some wavy bundles at that, some brown wavy bundles. I don't know if it was a 30 seat. I don't know. Okay, y'all know I don't wear bundles. So she's sorting out the bundles. Then tell Sabrina, oh girl, I didn't know I can't do two things at once. Ain't hear a word Sabrina said. But apparently Sabrina was like, you know what? You have helped me enough. And she has made a decision. I'm telling y'all, Sabrina stupid self gonna go to Rich and try to and have a baby with Rich. Ma'am, I'm telling you now, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. So Leonard is acting like, as I stated earlier, a man Karen, and told Danny, and he's extremely loud and obnoxious. She assaulted him. She assaulted me. And she tells him, he said, you assaulted me. She tells him, but you insulted me, and sexually, a borderline sexual harassment, followed by borderline sexual harassment. She didn't say borderline, but it was some sexual harassment. The way he talked to her, that is considered sexual harassment. Read y'all stuff in y'all onboarding and them tests y'all have to take every year. Maybe it's just my job. Anyway, so he's screaming, yelling, just piping up. And you got all these witnesses around here, and y'all can't be screaming loud. All these witnesses and yada yada yada. So Tony and the HR fish come running over, and they see the coffee all over Danny. And Leonard said his girlfriend attacked me, and I was like, wow. So we get back to the hospital where Art and Erica went through, found Gary's stuff, gave it to him, and she asked him when he's gonna pay off the debt, and of course he piped up with a lie. Anyway, Karen and her new babies are talking to, her unborn fetuses are talking to Aaron. She's being so nice to him after all of this time. Now all of a sudden, Tyler Perry, you want us to believe that this woman, all of a sudden, she want him? Him. I guess so. So, child, she kissed him. And I did like this. Baby, I rolled my eyes so hard, my eyes fell on the floor. You understand? Because this just give me fugazi. But hey, I could be wrong, all right? Sorry about that. And he was like, wait, hold up, whoa, pump your brakes, la mama. She was like, he said, well, why you doing all of this? All of a sudden. First, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all on me. You understand? You shout. I'm sorry. I can't do the Karen voice, but she told him she thought this was the direction them two was supposed to be going. When? Because I guess that was last week when it was about the kids. I guess, and Miss Mama Lisa walked in on them. Was it last week or the week before last? When Mama Lisa walked in on them. Child, next week they're gonna be getting nasty. Sorry. That's what the preview gave for next week. I was like, ugh. So they're gonna be in the bed, and they're gonna be engaging in the bed with no clothes on, y'all. You know. Your imagination is your own. So anyway, so he asked Karen if she was ready to get with him, because if you want to get with me, because Zach ain't available no more. You know that Zach finna have a baby. Zach finna, get married. He just don't want you. He is just not that into you. So is that why you want me? Am I the get over person? Am I the one that gotta be your soft space to land? Because this ain't here no more? Me? And as pick me as he is, he go for it. Speaking of pick me's, back at the restaurant, Pernell is still trying to flirt with Robin. His stupid ass. He fall for the bait. She was like, oh, you got something right here. And pull whatever light piece of feather that was right there and gonna tell him, now make a wish. And did she say make a wish or blow? Y'all. I'm so annoyed. Because that reminded me of Boomerang. When Robin Givens was trying to get something out of Eddie Murphy's eye, and she went, and he was like, you're trying to seduce me. And she was like, I saved your eye. I'm sorry, y'all. He blew the whatever that was on his face, off of her. And she just started flirting. Now she see Jordan and Andy walking. The heifer started flirting a little bit harder. And this is where the episode ends. When I tell y'all, that heifer done worked on my nerves. This was actually a good episode, though. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This was a good episode. Thank you, Tyler. Everybody may not agree, but I thought this was an okay episode. It wasn't bad. I thought it was good. So, y'all, please work with me. The reviews are gonna come out slow, but work with me, okay? Thank y'all. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As I stated earlier, hit the notification bell button and make sure. What was I about to say? Oh, I'm sorry. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.